Hi. Welcome back to Nostalgia Nerds. I am Nerdo, and today we'll be reviewing the new MMO space shooter, Destiny.
Alright, as far as new games, Rob has been playing a lot of that new game Destiny. He's been wanting to talk about it a little bit, and so I thought we would take a look at it. So this is Destiny for PS4. Is this game even on other systems? Because me personally, right now, let me make a little side note. I have not touched this game at all. I don't know anything about it. So this is all Rob's territory here. So I'll let you talk, Rob.
Yeah, it's on PS3, PS4, 360, Xbox One.
Oh, you talking shit. So generally, it's just a
it's
wide release, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, it's on all most of the big consoles.
Oh, okay. Let's do some questions about Destiny. Rob, first question. First of all, how many hours have you played the game?
I think you can go online and see exactly, but I mean, it has to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 hours, maybe.
But have you beat the game?
Yeah, I've beat the game.
Okay, so
it's at least 60 hours, if not more.
So you've at least gotten through the game?
Yeah, I've gotten through the game. I've almost hit the level cap.
Ah, Rob, putting in hours. All right. Well, okay.
I also had the alpha. They had like an alpha and beta version where you can try it out before it came out or whatever. I put hours on those too, so I don't know. I put a good amount of time on.
Okay. Well, with that being said, you've seen the game pretty much as a whole. First of all, it's an MMO, so that's a pretty big thing, I guess. And they're balancing a lot of graphics versus content, I guess.
Yeah.
What about the graphics, period?
Well, if you want to start on graphics, the graphics, in my opinion, they're freaking, for an MMO, they're top notch. Maybe the best that I've seen personally, on a console especially. But, MMOs are usually kind of watered down a little bit. But this is just, if it's watered down, it's a very slight degree. It's up there, in my opinion, within the top 5 graphics on PS4. That's, for me personally, I'm pretty impressed with graphics, especially being an MMO.
Yeah.
So that's like top for what they accomplished, and it being an MMO, I would have to give it like a 10 probably on that. Let me make a side note though. There are a few pickups here and there. That's kind of with the whole game, but yeah, overall it's good. But there will be some things here and there that kind of distract you. But for the most part, it's really, really good.
Yeah. I guess in the long run, what do you see it being as far as replay value?
Well, okay, Bungie has a 10-year contract to release content. They are coming out with it kind of consistently. I don't know if they're going to keep that up or what. It really depends, again, on your opinion. This is kind of a game that people are either going to love or hate. And also, I think it's kind of influenced by your expectations of the game. Before it came out, it was so hyped. If they would have took all that hype away and not said so much about it, I think honestly this would have done better. People were expecting something way more than what it is.
So a lot of people just felt let down.
Yeah, and I kind of did too at first. At very first, I was like, oh man, I just got ripped the fuck off. But after I put time on it and gave it a chance for a little while, it kind of got addicting. It grew on me. But it's a hard game to review because some aspects 10s and some are 2s, and it's weird like that. And I hope they address a lot of that, whatever they can. That should have been out from the beginning, in my opinion. A lot of the negatives should have been there from the beginning, and they just weren't. Like, it's a first-person shooter and MMO. I think it does first-person shooter aspects perfectly, but as an MMO, it's pretty watered down. They are supposed to be making improvements to chat, but an MMO, you can do text chat, you can voice chat with anyone. Well, on here, you can really, right now as it stands, you can only chat with your friends that are on your team. Like, if I wanted to tell this person something, I can't do it. The only way I can do it is if I walk up to them, hit R3, and then hit options, and then I can view their profile, and then I can, send a message to them through the PlayStation. That's the only way I could chat with this person and communicate with them. And it's a pain in the dick.
Well, I just think honestly that with the game, from what I've seen, again, I've not played this at all, but it just seems like they're struggling, like you said, shooter versus MMO versus content versus quality, quantity.
I think,
So,
I mean...
there's a lot they gotta struggle with, I guess, in their defense, you know?
Before the game came out, they were showing cutscenes that didn't make it in the game, at least DLC or something, I don't know, but they're showing cutscenes and talking about how expensive this world is and this and that, the lore and all this. And then when you play it, you can beat it and not know what the fuck you just did. Like, like I shouldn't have to get online and read lore to figure out what the fuck is going on. That should be explained.
So you mean as far as this versus, like, say, Mass Effect?
That's not even 1% of Mass Effect.
So apples to oranges, or just a matter if
Mass Effect completely kicks this in the balls as far
like,
as...
all in all, honestly?
Well, yeah, all in all too, but I mean, I don't see this as solid truth, but these are my opinions.
So it's kind of a trade-off that, like, this has the depth as far as gameplay, but Mass Effect has the story.
And they're two games. Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you're able to get into this, I would say you might get more gameplay out of this. I don't know. They're both pretty good on gameplay, but Mass Effect has way better cinematics and story and lore, and just that's its bread and butter, really. I mean, that's really good. It's all there.
So Destiny needs to.
This is like, it feels like a director's cut where they cut 90% of the shit out. Like, and what's there is pretty good. You really don't see the really good stuff until you've almost beaten the game, like 20 hours into it. You know, that once it starts playing some cutscenes, it's not bad, but it's so short and you don't get no information. And me personally, I kind of like to know what the fuck I'm doing. You know, that's just me. I like story, and I like to know why I'm killing these creatures, and you know what the fuck is going on. Yeah. And it's just really, I mean, it's so bare bones on story. They dropped the ball on the story. As far as the cinematics that are there, pretty decent, but as far as the storyline, I'd have to give it like a 2 out of 10 because you have to go read the lore elsewhere to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so as far as the stuff that bothers you, what is the main stuff that you do like about it?
The main stuff that I do like about it, well, I mean, we already touched on the graphics. The graphics are great. I think the sound design is great as far as sound effects and music-wise. Musically, to me, it's a little quiet in times, but when it does pick up, it's really well done. The sound effects, to me, are top-notch 10. I mean, the guns sound great. Like, if you're underground and there's explosions going off, you can hear dust falling from the ceiling. 10, perfect 10, like on the sound effects. Gunshots, you can hear the echo of the gunshots in wide areas. I mean, it's got polish like a motherfucker. I mean, it's you can tell it's a big budget game, but you know, to me, Bungie, everyone knows they're most popular because of Halo, and they did the same kind of story things on Halo, but I think this is even worse. I mean, you don't get story hardly. And this is my opinion. I'm not 100% sure if Bungie has done MMO before. I don't think they have, but I
think this is the first real shooter MMO. You know,
yeah,
hyping. You know,
it seems like, you know, you have a big company that did shooters well. Like, I'm not a big Halo fan, but I kind of get it at the same time. You know, the gameplay was pretty good. You know,
I beat the first one. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I beat the first one and whatnot, but their bread and butter was first-person shooters, and they got all that down right. But it seems like they're trying to tackle MMOs now. That's a whole different animal.
Well, then right there's the outcome shows you that's what they're struggling with.
Yeah. I will give them props. Like, the game hasn't been out very long, and they've been releasing a lot of updates and improving stuff. I mean, they seem to really be on top of things, so I'll give them that. The gameplay is solid. I mean, as far as the responsive controls and just how tight it feels is perfect 10. That's normally, I would expect that from something, but this is so tight and it feels really good. Like, you can just jump into it, and the game.
That's what she said.
The gameplay is nice. It gets addicting, but I don't know if it's going to be something that I'm going to be playing 10 years from now. I might not be playing this next week, honestly. But, you know, 10 years from now, this might be a totally different game.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a decade to try to keep interest in one property, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll have to see.
I don't know. It might be something that I revisit if they release stuff.
With that being said, I guess pretty much everything with the game, kind of to sum it up, good or bad, what is your overall opinion of it?
I think it's a good game that was really way too overhyped. It does have its issues, but what's there that's good really should be experienced by people. For me personally, I would play this over Halo. You know, in a heartbeat. Just, me, that's just my personal opinion. There's people out there that would choke me for that, but I had a good experience with it. As long as your expectations aren't to the moon.
Was it the money's worth?
I would say barely.
And how much was this MSRP?
Well, the thing is, I bought into the hype.
He was geeked as fuck. He's like,
So I got the collector's edition. There's a ghost edition that was even more expensive. That was $150, but I got the one under that.
So how much did you spend?
I spent $100 for the collector's
edition. So $100 all in all with did it come with any?
It came.
Let me check this out.
Well, the reason because at first I wasn't sure if I really should have spent the money on the collector's edition, but I went ahead and did it because it comes with the 2 first DLCs. And they'll come out with more story and worlds to explore. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to
So with the general story, it came with 2 extra stories.
Yeah, which
that's a couple extra hours.
Yeah, and those. Well, I think the 2 combined are worth $40 or 30 or $40. So just that alone, it's like I figured I'd be wanting those, so I just went ahead and got that. So I got extra goodies, with it. To me, I thought the extras were kind of lackluster. Honestly, it does come with a cool book. It has a really cool, nice texture.
Is there any lore in this, or what is this?
Not really.
Or is this an instruction manual?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes over some of the guns and the artwork. You might get a smidgen of story in this. It comes with just random shit, like postcards from these planets.
So this is kind of random. My opinion of this, or what I see from what you're saying, it kind of feels like that new Killer Instinct game, to where it's kind of open-ended, I guess, where they're saying, hold on, just trust me, something's coming, it's coming. But for all until then, people's this seems kind of.
I kind of expected more from the get-go. I shouldn't have to wait for more or pay for more.
Exactly. So the trade-off is they're it's only $20, but we're gonna get more stuff later. I go. So you chop this game up into I don't know how many pieces and have to buy it slowly over time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure they're gonna release more story through DLC, but that should have been something.
So I wonder if they're gonna start doing that with games, just chopping the fuck out of them, giving you a bottom barrel.
That was one of my concerns. Hopefully not. There probably will be those, that do it, but I don't think that'll become a norm. Hopefully not.
All right.
Because especially people are already starting to bitch, and people are going to bitch, and they're going to listen to that.
So they're going to have to quickly get their asses in gear and no, wait. See, we'll do this or we'll do this to kind of make up for it. So overall, out of 10, what do you give Destiny for your Nostalgia Nerds review, Rob?
If I had to put a number on it, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. All
right. But that being said, is it worth buying?
I would say it's worth buying. Maybe not the collector's editions, but if you like first-person shooters, like I said, if you don't have this big expectation, it's still a good game. There's not anything like it as far as the new gen consoles. I think it's something to tide you over until something better comes along. It's good. It's such a hard thing to review. Like I said, there's some things that I really want to scream, yeah, it's badass, but then I get to think about all these other little things that kind of hold it back.
Yeah.
And even that, I don't know. I would say at least try it.
There's always Redbox.
It's fun. I mean, if you like loot games, if you get addicted to finding loot, I mean, that's what it is. That's the name of the game. It is kind of annoying on here, the way they did it. Up to level 20, you have your experience. And that's what levels you up, is the experience. Well, when you get to level 20, the whole thing changes. Experience don't hardly do shit. The only way to get above 20 is each of your pieces of armor have a light rating that mixes in with a story. That's a whole nother thing. But there's a light rating. The higher your light rating is, and your combined armor will raise you up levels. So you just gotta find armor with the light stat attached to them. That's the only way to.
It's kind of weird.
Raise levels beyond 20. And it makes it a slower process because you have to grind for better gear.
So I think what that is, that's a tactic. They're like, okay, we just don't have enough material here, so we're going to have to milk this somehow.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's a tactic. It's an end game, once you beat the game, it's something.
It's just to stretch it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's okay, but it gets a little frustrating just the way they did it. And it's something different.
Yeah.
But
so really, you would just say just buy the regular version?
Yeah, I would say buy the regular version, unless if you just don't have really nothing to play.
Now tell us about that dangle dongle thing you're talking about, or what the fuck it was.
Okay. Yeah,
is that worth the money?
Yeah, Dinklage from Game of Thrones voices your ghost on here, which is a little companion robot that you have. I was kind of disappointed with his voice work personally. I know he's a robot. Maybe he intentionally wanted to be kind of monotone and shit. I don't know.
He wasn't Borderlands material? As far as Borderlands robots?
Yeah, I mean, there was no personality.
But again, like that may be a person.
Claptrap, at least he was annoying at times, but at least he had more personality out the ass.
But again, in their defense, they may have intentionally,
Yeah. I mean, he is a robot, so maybe they did that intentionally. So, they could have got Joe Blow from down the street to do Ghost instead of, Dinklage. Anyway, but yeah, people are calling him the Dinklebot. If you get the Ghost Edition, it comes with a ghost that has motion detection on it and says stuff as you walk by it or whatever. You charge it through a USB, which people are calling the Dinkle Dongle. That's cool. To me, it's not worth $50 more, so I didn't get that version.
Any final thoughts?
It's a good game. I wouldn't describe it as mediocre. A lot of people are giving it like 6 out of 10 and whatnot. To me, it deserves more than that. It is going to piss people off. There's going to be people that fucking hate the game, for different reasons. Maybe their hype was too big. Maybe there's a certain aspect of it they hated. Whatever. I know people that completely hate it, but that wasn't my experience with it. There's some disappointment, and then once I kind of came to terms with what it was, I enjoyed what was there. I still play it. It's about 3 weeks since it came out, and I'm still playing it, so I feel like I got my money's worth, but barely.
Well, there you pretty much have Rob's opinion of Destiny. So he said they should be releasing new material for it pretty soon, and I don't know, again, I never really played it because I'm not really into other than Doom, I guess. I'm not really into a lot of futury, spacey, laser guns and stuff. I'm just not into that. I like old school shotguns and simple shit. But again, so this really isn't a game for me, so that's why I didn't really want to put my input on it. I'm not saying it sucks from what I've seen. I love MMO games. I can't wait for H1Z1. Now that you'll see me geeking out about, because I really want to see that if it's done right. But as far as Destiny, like he said, in his opinion, he thinks you should check it out. If you don't agree with anything we've said, feel free to comment and let us know how y'all suck, y'all are stupid or whatever. But just let us know how you feel, what you think. So be sure to like and subscribe our new page, our new channel or whatever. And we're going to try to be having new shows every week. So you should check us out. Anyway, I guess my name is Evil Dead, and this is Rob Zombie. The creepy smile, do it again, right? This is Evil Dead with my wolf. But like I said, check us out, like it, subscribe, all that friendly shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So check us out.
Next episode.